Are you going through the time of uncertainty and you're finding it difficult to discover and pursue your true life purpose? We need your purpose. Hashtag this is how we change the world. Maybe what you need to guide you through that path is just a literary piece written by Tevin Blignaut, a motivational speaker with a passion to help people to change their lives for the better. The book provides information, principles and tools to assist with positive life transformation. Well, Tevin is joining us on Skype from his Johannesburg home to tell us more about this offering. Tevin, a very good morning to you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me. Thank you to all the listeners. I hope this will be a beneficial interview.
Well, you certainly hope so too, Tevin. Let's start with when and how you knew that you have this gift of helping people, particularly with finding their true life purpose and potential.
Well, you see, when I discovered the concept, I actually just stumbled upon the concept, right? And when I discovered it, I was actually in a place of destitute. I was unemployed. I was depressed. So I basically began to study a concept and applied it. And as soon as I began to apply, there are so many gifts and talents that just began to arise from that space. So because of the impact the concept had in my life, I thought, what could it do for other people as well? So that's when I started to write the book. I did more research on it. And then, yeah, that's basically it.
And after reading the book and considering its information, that the reader's life will begin to reflect its true potential, doesn't it?
Definitely. I mean, when you discover the concept of purpose, right, your value, your self-value is actually restored. So immediately you don't accept things that are below your potential immediately. So because of that, your life begins to change. Now your decisions will be more empowering. You will put yourself in positions where you can explode as a person. And I think that's where everyone needs to be, especially with the current crisis that's happening. So I think it's perfect right now. The book has been released at a perfect time.
And take us through some of the life and the success principles that you share in the book that you yourself have applied in your own life.
Oh, great question. Oh, great perspective. Okay, so some of the principles, one of my favorite that I'll have to discuss is the mastermind principle. So growing up, I was always taught the concept of I need to compete with people. I need to be the space first. But when you discover the mastermind principle, right, you realize you can actually do more together than you can alone. So that's one of the principles I have taken and I have applied it very drastically in my life. And because of that, not only am I succeeding now, the people around me is succeeding as well. And that's so exciting. I'll just give an example. Because of the principles that I've discovered and actively applied in this book, I no longer needed to be employed by the government structures or the systems that are in place. Now I am self-employed. I'm a business consultant. I am everything that I wanted to be initially. And the exciting thing is this principle did not only work for myself, it worked for the people in my mastermind as well, so my closest circle. And this is why it's exciting, because the principles have been tried and tested, not only by myself, but by the people around me. And also everyone else that has ever been successful applied these same principles. And I think that's so important.
You know, Tevin, you are so key in society, and the work and the kind of work that you do and your product is so key in society, because it's not only, it's not just about entertainment, but it's about building characters. It's about people discovering their sense of purpose. And you make a lot of factual statements and references. Tell us about the kind of research that went into putting this book together.
Okay, so the research that I've done on this book is very detailed, right? So because I am a master's student, so I've learned how to do research. And some of the research that I've done has started from BC times. So I've had to look into books that were written in BC times all the way through to current day times. And what I've discovered was every successful person used a common set of principles. And that's so exciting, right? Because it tells you that there is a formula to success. And if there is a formula to success, that means you can begin to predict success. That's why so many people, right, they go through life and they don't become successful because they don't have the correct formula. So they spend most of their life trialing and error, and that's the problem. When you have a trial and error mindset, you waste so much of time. So what I've done is I've compiled all of these principles together in one book, so that when people begin to read it and actively apply it, they will become successful. And I think that is so important. And just for the current time, like we need to be in a space where we are creative. I believe right now the world is set up because the world has hit a reset button, right? So there's a level playing field now. Everywhere across the world, everyone is panicking. It's COVID-19. So I think what people need to realize is that they are made for a time such as this. And as soon as they begin to realize that, they will begin to build their self-confidence. They should be experimenting now. Now is the perfect time. So you can only begin to experiment when you understand your concept of self, when you know what you are capable of. As soon as you know what you are capable of, you'll become so confident in who you are. You'll just begin to do crazy things. And I think that will be the key to Africa actually becoming a leader in the world. It's perfectly set up. People just need to begin to experiment with who they truly are. And I think that's the message of the book, actually.
Tevin, I quite take your point that most unsuccessful people are as a result of the fact that there's no formula that they can indulge in, and they're so uninspired. And speaking of which, where do you draw your own inspiration from, and what would you say are some of the challenges that you come across as a motivational speaker?
Okay, so you see, since I've discovered the concept of purpose, I don't look at challenges the same anymore. So whenever there is a challenge that comes up against me, I face it confidently. I'm excited about it because I realize that this is just something that's going to be refining my skill. It's going to be refining my gift. So whenever there is a challenge, I'm excited, man. And I think information is key. So as soon as we can get the information to the people, people will become successful. So I don't know if Robert Kiyosaki, right? He says the COVID-19 has brought an end to the industrial era. I was celebrating when that statement was made. But he did say that now it's the time for the information era. So people who have information, these are the people who are likely to succeed in life going forward, which is very exciting. So to answer your question, the challenges, because I have the information I have, I don't see challenges as what it is. I see it as an opportunity to improve. Just like a diamond goes through different processes. It's crushed, it's pressed upon. So because I have this information, my perspective on life is very different.
Tevin, we thank you, man. Thank you so much for inspiring us. It's much appreciated. That was our guest author this morning, Tevin Blignaut, and he's been speaking to us about his motivational book titled "We Need Your Purpose." #This is how we change the world.